Welcome everyone to another episode of AEW Dark. Tonight we've got the Inner Circle Sammy Guevara taking on the bad boy Joey Janela. Also we've got singles action from the women's division. Sadie GIBBS steps into the ring against Big Swole. Also the Murder Hawk monster Lance Archer will take on the Concrete Rose, Sonny Kiss. And finally some tag team action as Jurassic Express will take on the team of Victor and Connor. So we kick off this week's edition of AEW Dark with Sammy Guevara up against Joey Janela, and surprisingly it's Joey Janela that goes over. He defeats Sammy Guevara in 13 minutes by pinfall after a moonsault foot stomp. This gets a 65, Sammy Guevara with a 61 performance. Joey Janela not far behind with a 53. The match getting the show off to a strong start. Chris Jericho was the road agent. He was also present as well at ringside. Segment rating getting a bonus because of the work from Jericho. Sammy Guevara penalised for holding back. The announcing was penalised also, you can see in the notes. Jericho was at ringside and he's not going to be too happy with this. After the match, Jericho slides into the ring quickly and out of nowhere hits Joey Janela with the Judas effect, as Sammy Guevara watches on as he's sat in the corner. Jericho just shakes his head at Sammy and climbs out of the ring. Sammy gets up not long after and follows, leaving Janela out in the middle. So we get another decent segment rating here for Dark. Jericho coming across well, as he always does. Absolute master of being the heel, being his character. And Janela and Sammy Guevara performing well. So we roll into the next segment. Backstage, Chuck Taylor is seen walking towards Trent Beretta. And he goes on to say, "Hey Trent, you okay dude? Haven't seen you for a week or so. I gotta ask, did you join?" Trent Beretta looks shifty, then replies, "Hell no. I've been speaking with the guys in SCU and even Angelico. We're gonna go and cut off the head of the snake. We're going right to the top and going for Brody." "Holy shh. Trent Beretta, shh, keep it quiet. We're doing this tonight." Trent walks off. So Chuck Taylor doesn't get to say the S word on live TV. Gets cut off there from Trent, but it seems, well, the best friends teaming up with SCU to take on the Dark Order. Should be interesting. This gets a 48. The story develops even further with the Dark Order here on AEW Dark. And up next, Sadie GIBBS loses out against Big Swole in an abysmal match, getting a 21 there. The crowd were turned off. They weren't happy. The match brought the crowd down. Was a hot crowd as well. The last couple of segments, that first match against Sammy Guevara and Joey Janela, and Jericho as well stepping into the ring, but we've got to involve them. And after that, speaking of Jericho and Guevara, backstage in the Inner Circle locker room, surrounded by Hager, Ortiz and Santana and also Jeff Cobb, Jericho is giving Sammy Guevara a bit of a dressing down. "Sammy, what the hell was that tonight? What happened? You're in a circle. Losing to that freak Joey Janela on Dark isn't good enough. You embarrassed me ahead of my match against Allen, Halloween Havoc. It's not acceptable. You need to sort yourself out, man. You need to put what's happened these past few weeks with your injury and that loss to Brian Cage behind you. You need to forget about Cody and Brandy. Just sort yourself out. And quick." Chris Jericho walks out annoyed, leaving Sammy shrugging at the rest of his Inner Circle teammates. So Jericho not happy with Sammy Guevara at the moment, picking up a loss against Brian Cage on last week's episode of Dynamite, now losing here on Dark. Needs to be better, Sammy Guevara. It's not looking good for him at the moment, as our next match is Lance Archer and Sonny Kiss. And of course it's Lance Archer that absolutely dominates this one. He beats Sonny Kiss in 3 minutes 33 with a devastating blackout. And the match cooled the crowd a bit as we roll into the next segment. This is good to see. After the match, Jake Roberts steps into the ring alongside Lance Archer with a mic in hand and says, "The clock is ticking. We inch closer and closer to Halloween Havoc. Now, I'm not sure about you, Kenny, but I've always believed in monsters, in real life and inside my mind. I certainly believe in this one too that stands beside me right now, who waits with bated breath, who can't wait to rip you into pieces. They say you're one of the best around today. We'll see about that. And Jake throws the mic to the floor as both walk out. Gets a 70 for Jake Roberts' promo work. The best talker in the biz is Jake Roberts, and this advances the Murder Hawk Monster storyline. And we get a 70 that's really good to see. And then up next, Chuck Taylor, Trent Barretta, Scorpio Sky, Frankie Kazarian are all walking together towards the Dark Order's locker room. They nod to each other, then kick in the door. Brody Lee is stood at the back of the room, surrounded by creepers and Evil Uno, Stu Grayson, and Jack Evans. Brody Lee, I think you boys have the wrong dressing room. Unless, of course, you wish to sign up. More creepers close in behind the four. All of a sudden, fists fly. Chucky, Trent, Scorpio and Kazarian battle their way through the creepers, exiting the room quickly, and heard saying, "How the hell are we going to take them down?" Once calmness has descended on the room, Brody Lee turns to Evil Uno and Stu Grayson and says, "We made that too easy for them to get in here. It better not happen next time." Probably should have said, better not happen again. There won't be a next time, but it gets to 51. We involve quite a lot of characters in this segment, with the best friends in SCU teaming up as we finally see Brody Lee. I haven't used Brody Lee enough. I think he's hardly stepped into the ring in this AEW series. We're going to have to see about changing that as we move into our final match, the main event of Dark this week, and it's awful. It's a 33 as Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus come out on top against Victor and Connor in what is, without a doubt now, after seeing this, Victor and Connor's final match in AEW. I think I'm going to axe them, which is a shame. They do have good tag experience, but it's just not working. They're not getting over with the crowd. I know, obviously, by using them more, we could build them up again, but I don't feel I have anything for them now after their little storyline with FTR and the Young Bucks and the Butcher and the Blade. But there we go. This week's episode of Dark falls to a 52, which is, it's alright, it's decent. It's a shame to see that it's full. I mean, our best show of Dark so far has been a 61, but 52, and there I am thinking this is probably one of the better episodes of Dark that I've put together, especially with the best friends, SCU teaming up to confront Brody Lee and his Dark Order. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. But that's it for this edition of AEW Dark. Hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you all soon for Dynamite.